gentleman who will be calling games on the Browns television network during the preseason, joins us right now, and he's Mr. Chris Rose. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Greetings.
You ready for Saturday?
Yeah, just talked to my buddy Adam Amin, who calls the Bears side of the preseason. So we had our little chat to kind of catch each other up on the other teams.
The Cleveland Browns are heading into one of the most important preseasons in recent memory. And for the first time in a long time, there's genuine excitement mixed with uncertainty. Every snap, every drive, and every decision made by the coaching staff will be under the microscope as fans try to figure out what this team can become in 2026. During a recent discussion with Chris Rose, who will be calling Browns preseason games on the television network, several key topics emerged. The quarterback competition, the rebuilt offensive line, the explosive new receiving core, and the overall direction of Todd Monken's offense. The conversation painted a picture of a team that has talent all over the roster, but still has one massive question that must be answered before the regular season begins. And that question is simple. Who is going to lead this offense?
Not that, 98% of what you're talking about is strictly your team, but it's always good to kind of get a feel for the other squad before you call the game.
Yeah, gotta have a little flow on the other team as well. So that's a good thing. We don't know who's starting at quarterback yet. We do know both quarterbacks are speaking coming up in the noon hour. We're going to hear them right here on the Fan. What do you think the breakdown's going to be? Whoever starts, Chris, and then whoever comes in second. I would think the second guy plays more. We think.
Yeah, I would expect that to happen. Not a significant amount more. I don't think, I could see, for example, Ben Johnson maybe getting his starters out there for a series. I don't know if you remember last year, the Packers, was it last year or 2 years ago? All the games kind of blend together. But Jordan Love came out, led one drive, threw a touchdown, got out of Dodge.
According to the discussion, the Browns still haven't officially settled on their starting quarterback situation, whether it's Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, or another option emerging during camp. The coaching staff is looking for something more important than highlight plays right now. They want competence. That might sound boring, but it's the truth. Fans naturally get excited about deep passes, scrambling quarterbacks, and game-changing throws. However, Todd Monken appears focused on something much more fundamental. He wants to know if his quarterbacks can handle the operation of the offense from start to finish. Can they get the play call in correctly? Can they manage protections? Can they avoid penalties? Can they execute without creating self-inflicted mistakes?
Yeah.
That's what LaFleur wanted. So it wouldn't surprise me but very different scenario for us. Number one, we've got a first-time NFL head coach who's, getting used to Operation Day as a head coach, which is very different than as an offensive coordinator. Number two, the Bears kind of know who their quarterback is. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think they feel pretty good about that.
That Caleb fellow looks pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. I don't know. Maybe Bajent and our...
Those details may not appear on a stat sheet, but they often determine whether a football team wins or loses games. The Browns have struggled with offensive consistency in recent years, and that's exactly why Monken's emphasis on discipline and execution is so important. Before a quarterback can become a star, he must first prove he can run the offense efficiently. That's what coaches will be evaluating throughout the preseason. One of the biggest questions entering the first exhibition game is how the quarterback reps will be divided. Chris Rose suggested that whichever quarterback starts may not necessarily play the most snaps. Instead, the second quarterback could potentially receive more playing time as coaches continue gathering information. That approach makes sense.
Buddy Case Keenum can push him a little bit. So, look, we got to find our quarterback. And I'll be curious. We get a production meeting with Todd Monken tomorrow, and I get a chance to ask him how much this game weighs into his decision-making. What percentage of it is it? I think people will be interested to know.
Chris, I think it's also going to be interesting to watch how long he keeps the offensive line in. You just touched on, okay, well, maybe if your quarterback gets in there and gets their work done quickly, but
preseason football isn't about winning games. It's about evaluating players, testing systems, and collecting as much information as possible before week 1 arrives. Every drive matters because every drive helps the coaching staff make decisions. Another fascinating storyline involves the offensive line. This group has undergone significant changes, and continuity remains a major concern. Offensive line chemistry is unlike any other position group in football. 5 players must operate as a single unit. Communication, timing, and trust are essential. As Rose pointed out, NFL teams rarely replace all 5 starters at once. Yet Cleveland's line is undergoing major changes, creating understandable concerns about how quickly the unit can develop cohesion. That's one reason preseason reps are so valuable.
The fact that even looking back at NFL history, teams that switch out all 5 guys on the offensive line for starters, it just doesn't happen.
Nope, it does not. And so, we can talk about practice as much as they want, but I can't imagine even the most intense practice is even close to the ferocity of a preseason game. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you've got other guys that are fighting for their livelihood, whereas
practice is important, but game situations are different. The speed increases, the intensity rises. Players are fighting for roster spots and careers. You simply cannot replicate that environment during a normal practice session. The Browns know there are risks involved whenever starters take the field. Injuries can happen, but there are also risks in entering the regular season with a group that hasn't played together enough. Finding the balance between protection and preparation will be one of the coaching staff's biggest challenges. While questions remain at quarterback and along the offensive line, there's one area where excitement is growing rapidly: the wide receiver room. Last season, Cleveland ranked near the bottom of the NFL in wide receiver production. The lack of explosive plays consistently limited the offense and placed enormous pressure on the quarterbacks. The front office responded aggressively. By selecting 2 receivers within the top 40 picks of the draft, the Browns made a statement. They understood that drastic action was necessary.
What's the number one thing they say is take care of your own. So, those guys have got to get work, and it stinks, but that's where we are. We don't have enough. Our coaching staff and our talent evaluators don't have enough knowledge to know about everybody that's going to be playing opening day against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Chris Rose joining us, and he'll be calling the Browns game against the Bears coming up on Saturday.
One of the most intriguing additions is Denzel Boston. Throughout the discussion, there was clear enthusiasm about his potential. Many analysts believe Boston could have been selected much earlier in the draft. Some projected him as a first-round talent. The fact that Cleveland was able to add him where they did could end up being one of the steals of the draft. Boston brings a skill set that the Browns desperately needed. He has size. He has athleticism. He has the ability to win contested catches. And perhaps most importantly, he can become a quarterback's best friend in critical situations. Every successful quarterback needs reliable targets who can make difficult catches when plays break down. Boston appears capable of becoming that type of weapon. The impact of the new receiver additions extends beyond just the newcomers. Competition changes everything. A year ago, discussions centered around whether Cedric Tillman could establish himself as the clear number 2 receiver. Now, the competition has intensified dramatically. No player can afford to become comfortable. That's exactly what good organizations want. Competition pushes players to improve. Competition raises standards. Competition ultimately strengthens the roster. The Browns hope that increased talent and competition will create a receiving core capable of transforming the offense. Another player generating excitement is running back Dylan Sampson. His explosiveness could become a major factor in Todd Monken's system. Last season, Cleveland often struggled to generate chunk plays. Long drives required near-perfect execution because explosive gains were difficult to find. That can make life extremely challenging for an offense. A single holding penalty or negative play can derail an entire possession. Players like Sampson change that equation. He possesses the ability to score from anywhere on the field. One touch can completely alter momentum. One missed tackle can result in a game-changing play. That type of speed creates opportunities not only for the running game, but also for the passing attack. Defenses must account for explosive players, creating favorable matchups elsewhere. Monken understands this concept well. He doesn't necessarily need Sampson touching the football 15 times per game. Instead, he needs maximum efficiency. If Sampson touches the ball 6 or 7 times and produces 2 explosive plays, that could be enough to change outcomes. That's the type of weapon Cleveland has lacked in recent years. As the conversation continued, attention shifted back to expectations for the offense as a whole. This is where patience becomes important. Many fans may become frustrated if the offense struggles early in the season. But context matters. The Browns are integrating new players at multiple positions. They have a new offensive system. They have an unsettled quarterback situation. They have a rebuilt offensive line. Those factors naturally create growing pains. Mistakes will happen. Penalties will happen. Miscommunications will happen. The key is whether the team shows steady improvement. Progress should be measured over weeks, not individual drives. That perspective is important because the defense could once again be one of Cleveland's strengths. If the defense performs well while the offense develops, the Browns could remain competitive in many games. But eventually, the offense must contribute. Defenses can only carry a team for so long before fatigue becomes a factor. Sustaining drives, controlling possession, and scoring points remain essential objectives. Perhaps the most interesting insight from Chris Rose came near the end of the discussion. Over the past 2 weeks, he visited several NFL training camps and spoke with numerous people around the league. Many of those individuals shared a similar opinion about Cleveland. The roster talent is there. The supporting cast is there. The defense is there. The skill position talent is improving rapidly. The offensive line has potential. The missing piece remains the quarterback position. According to Rose, people around the league consistently believe that average quarterback play could keep the Browns competitive. That's an important distinction. Nobody is demanding MVP-level production. Nobody is asking for 5,000 passing yards. The Browns simply need stability. They need competence. They need someone capable of making routine plays consistently while avoiding catastrophic mistakes. If Cleveland receives that level of quarterback performance, the rest of the roster may be strong enough to keep the team in playoff contention. And that brings us back to why this preseason matters so much. Every snap is part of the evaluation process. Every drive provides evidence. Every quarterback decision is being studied. The coaching staff isn't searching for perfection. They're searching for answers. Can the offensive line come together? Can the receivers create explosive plays? Can Dylan Sampson become a dynamic weapon? Can Todd Monken establish the identity he wants? And most importantly, can someone emerge as the quarterback capable of guiding this team forward? Those questions won't be answered in a single preseason game, but the process begins now. For Browns fans, that's what makes this preseason fascinating. There is uncertainty. There is competition. There is potential. And for the first time in a long time, there is a genuine sense that the organization may finally have enough pieces in place to build something sustainable. Now, they just need the quarterback situation to sort itself out. If that happens, Cleveland could become one of the most intriguing teams in the NFL this season. Source transcript discussion with Chris Rose on the Browns' preseason outlook and quarterback competition.